So we end up in this cottage, and for 5 nights, and I walk by Bill in the middle of the night because I have to get up and talk to the Holy Spirit close to the throne, at least once a night. While other people are sleeping, I'm in prayer and pain. So, and for 5 nights, I'd walk by Bill's bed at night, and he'd be like, "Jesus, I love you. Jesus, you're amazing," in his sleep. Yeah, I don't even do that when I'm awake. It's really hard to explain with words what happened to me, but by the 5th day, I was completely wrecked. And, I believe that everybody has a purpose in life. But what I'm learning is that, more importantly, everybody has a people. And until you find your people, you actually don't have a purpose. Because your purpose is divinely in your people. If I'm a hand, I don't just need to find the body. I need to find the arm. Because being connected to the knee is not helpful. Good word, Kris. Thank you. So I laid there 5 nights, and I wept for 5 nights. And we had been separated, as I told you, for 2 years. We get to San Francisco airport. By now, Kathy and I have 4 businesses in 3 cities. We have, 42 employees. Not a huge company, but, definitely a company that we had built for 20 years. And we get to San Francisco airport, and we're waiting for this little flight that comes to Reading. Some of you took that flight. God bless America. We have a jet now, which is nice. And that was much prayer and fasting. We got that jet. And $1 million. But anyway, so we got to San Francisco airport, and, Bill's pretty quiet. He leans across the table and said, I want to build a school ministry, and I want you to come and start the school. I'm like, okay, how many nights a week do you want to do that? He's like, no, full-time school. It became apparent within 10 minutes that he was talking about me leaving my business, our business, and coming. And, my head was like, what? And my heart was like, we were born to be with this man. So by the time I got home, which is about 3 hours later, of course my wife was very excited to hear about my daughter, who we hadn't seen for a few months, and her new husband. They were newlyweds when they got there. And I walked in the house, and she's like, "How's Jamie doing?" And I'm like, I gave her a short report, and then I'm like, "I'm in love with a man." Yeah, it went over about that good. And as I unpacked this week I had in the cottage, Bill laid awake at night saying, "Jesus, I love you. Jesus, you're amazing." And I'm like, I was born to be with this man. And so the shorten the story, we did come, obviously, about 8 months later, and we ended up on staff. We didn't get paid the first year. We worked for free, which was our agreement. Bill said, I want to have you on staff, but I just don't have any money. Oh, is there any other issues? And so we sold our business, and then we sold our businesses. We had auto parts stores. We sold our 3 auto parts stores to our supplier. We came to Bethel before the escrow closed, which turned into an 18-month escrow, if you've ever heard of that before. And so we get to Bethel. We were supposed to have a couple $100,000 from the sale. Instead, our supplier, the second month we were at Bethel, went bankrupt. And not only did they not buy our 3 stores, but our supplier bankrupt. It's kind of like all your cows die and you're a dairy. Yeah, not only do we not have their money, we also have no parts. And that short story is we ended up, we didn't bankrupt, but we ended up, obviously losing our businesses. And so now we're at Bethel with no money. Bethel can't pay us. We owe $1.8 million. And we have a school that's still 7 months from starting. And the day before school started, we needed, in order for Kathy and I to take a wage, which was $1,000 each, $1,000 a month each, we had to have 32 students. And we had worked 9 months for free to try to start the school. And the day before school started, we had 18 students. And we're like, oh, great. Now what are we going to do? The day school started, we had 37 students. And we graduated that year, 36. So 36 of our 37 students graduated, and the 37th came back the next year, did school again, and graduated. So that was a very difficult but beautiful beginning. And the second year, we had 68 students. The third year, we had 128 students. And the fourth year, Bill's book came out, How Heaven Invades Earth. And that book created a real stir, and it doubled the amount of applicants we had. And I think we had 172 students that year. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And my goal, Bill says this wasn't his goal, so I guess I didn't use this number with him, but my goal was that someday we would have 300 students. It was really dreaming big. And I think we hit that number by the fifth year. We were 300 students, and it just kept growing and growing. And Bobby Connors came to my house. We had the staff meeting at my house, and I think we were like in the fifth year, and Bobby Connors said, the school's going to double every year. You're not going to have enough room. You won't have enough buildings to put it in. And so that's kind of the history of our school. That's how it started.